Hi, and welcome to today's session. Today marks number 2 for the upper back, neck, and shoulder series. So this is going to be about finding mobility. So if you're still in managing pain, go back to the first video, do that as many times as you need before you come to the second one. But this is just about finding a little bit more mobility through our neck and shoulders and our upper back. So all you're going to need today is your mat. If you'd like a block for a little bit of assistance, you can have one and put it off to the side. But when you have those things, we'll begin. So today's session will actually begin in our comfortable seat, whether that's an easy cross or your legs extended, whatever feels good for your hips. Once you find that seat, gently roll the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. A couple of clicks to know that that's absolutely normal. So once you find that, just take a couple of breaths to slow everything down. Making sure that our chest, our ribs, and our bellies fill up with each inhale. Followed by a big exhale as you draw the navel in towards the spine, relaxing the chest and the ribs. We'll do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Big breath out. We'll do 1 more. Breath in. And breath out. Yeah, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Then we'll gently bring our hands down to our sides. Okay, make sure your shoulders are rolled back, thinking nice and broad through your chest. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way out towards the side, reaching towards the back of the room so you feel a nice big opening happening through your chest and shoulders. Maybe look up towards the hands as the hands reach up. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down as you bring your chin to your chest. Good. Another big inhale. Reach the arms up, look up towards the hands. And then exhale again, lower the hands, and maybe bring your chin down towards your chest. Good, we'll do that 1 more time. Inhale, rise. And then exhale again as you release. Good, we'll gently bring the neck back to neutral, reaching that left arm up. We'll bring that to the small of our back as we lift that left elbow straight up towards the sky. Right hand grabs that left elbow. Take a nice big inhale. Lift through your chest. And then as you exhale, find a side bend towards your right. Good. We'll feel a nice long lengthening sensation through that left side. Good. 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. Come all the way back up to the top, reaching both arms back up high. And then exhale again as you release the arms down by your sides. As you find your next inhale, you're going to this time take your right hand, bring it to the small of your back. As you reach that elbow up towards the sky, take your left hand and grab that right elbow. Find that nice lengthening sensation happening through that right side body this time. And then as you find that, take a nice big side bend over towards your left. Good. But you'll feel a deeper pull through your triceps as well as your lats. So just be mindful. And then see if you can keep maintaining that length as you find that big side bend. Good. 1 more big inhale and exhale here. And then take your time to gently come all the way back to center, reaching both arms back up high. And then exhale, release the hands all the way down by your sides. Yeah, do a couple of shoulder rolls. And then swing the legs around so that you can make it to your tabletop position. Once you've made it to tabletop, your hands are a little bit wider than your shoulders, and your fingers are turned out to the sides just a little bit, and knees are still stacked underneath your hips. On your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Think about bringing your shoulder blades back together behind you. And then as you exhale, push the earth away, doming the top of the back, separating the shoulder blades as much as you can. Good. Inhale again, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Inhale. And then exhale again for cat. Or Chakravarkasana. Take your time to move back and forth between these two. Just noticing where you might be carrying tension. Making sure that the neck is also moving. Good. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then exhale again as you round. Come back into a nice neutral spine. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bring our left hand a little bit more towards our center so that it's stacked underneath our left shoulder. And then we're going to reach the right arm forward. Good. So try to lift that arm without lifting the shoulder. So just lifting the arm, trying to bring it as close to your bicep, your ear as you can. Take a nice big inhale here. And then as you exhale, take that hand all the way back until the back of the hand meets the small of your lower back. And then on your next inhale, rotate that elbow up towards the sky. And then exhale again as you bring it back to neutral. Swing that leg arm all the way back around towards the front of the room. Give it a gentle lift once it gets there. And then exhale, plant that hand back down towards the ground. Good. We'll move on to the other side. Left hand reaches forward and up. And then exhale again as you bring the arm all the way out to the side, to the lower back. Once that hand lands, inhale, rotate that elbow up towards the sky. And then exhale again as you bring it back to neutral. Inhale, reach that arm back up towards the front of the room. And then exhale, plant that palm back down towards the ground. Good. We'll do one more on each side. Right arm reaches forward. Exhale, take it all the way back. Inhale, rotate that elbow up towards the sky. And then exhale again as you bring it back down to neutral. Inhale, reach that arm back towards the front. And then exhale, release that hand down by the front of the mat. Good. One more time. Inhale, reach the left arm forward and up. Exhale all the way out to the side to your lower back. Inhale, rotate. And then exhale again as you bring it back to neutral. Inhale, reach that left arm forward again. Once it gets there, lift. And then exhale, release the hand again back down towards the front. Good. Just help loosen everything back up. Inhale, one more cat-cow. And then exhale again as you round. Beautiful. Come back into a nice neutral spine. Then we'll find our first downward facing dog. So we'll walk our feet all the way back to plank. And then send our hips all the way up and back so that we can really shrug our shoulders up towards our ears, rotating the biceps forward, and then start to pedal the feet down, grounding the heels one at a time. Yeah, take your time to find stillness in the feet, and then inhale, roll yourself back into a nice strong plank position. This one isn't the strength series, so we're just going to lower ourselves all the way down to the floor. Just melting ourselves down. Okay, so we're going to find a little bit of a bigger opening here in our cobra, but we're going to bind our hands behind our back. So lace the fingers. Pull the knuckles down towards your feet, and then on your next inhale, lift the upper body. If you want to lift the lower body too, you can add that as well. But on your next inhale, lift whatever you choose. And then as you exhale, hold it there. Inhale, see if you can lift your hands a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, relax the arms and lower yourself back down towards the earth. Take another big inhale as you lift. Exhale again as you hold. Inhale again as you find that big lift again. And then exhale again as you lower back down. Really good. One more time. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, hold. One more big lift. And then exhale again as you lower. Beautiful. Once you find that, lower yourself down, bring your hands back by your rib cage, lift yourself all the way up, back into your plank, and then send those hips all the way up and back into that downward facing dog once more. Yeah, and we're going to bend the knees a lot. Start to walk the hands back to meet the feet. And then once we arrive, feet could be hip distance or a little bit wider as you just gently forward fold, bending the knees as much as we need to give ourselves a little bit of traction to find in that forward fold for our spine. Really good. One more. Yeah, take your time to gently release the hands, bend the knees a little bit more, scoop the spine all the way up to stand, Head and neck are the last things to come up. Beautiful. Once you make it back up towards the front of the mat, I'm just going to face the camera to make things a little bit easier to see. But we're going to have our feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart for stability. You're going to take a nice big inhale to reach the arms up towards the sky. Right hand grabs left wrist. Inhale, pull a little bit longer through that left side. Exhale, take a side bend towards the right. We'll do this dynamically. Inhale again, halfway as you lift. And then exhale again as you bend. Good. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach. And then exhale. Find a big breath in as you reach all the way back up to the top. And then exhale, release the arms. Do one more shoulder roll. Good. And then inhale, reach the arms back up. Left hand grabs right wrist this time. Inhale, pull the length of the arm. Exhale, this time side bend to your left. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again, big fold. One more time, halfway lift. And then last time, big fold. Gently come all the way back up to the top. And then exhale, release the arms all the way back down. Okay, so we're still facing the front of the mat. And then we're going to take our right foot forward. And then take our left foot back behind us. Good. So we're going to take that back foot and make sure it's at a 45-degree angle. Left toes are pointing towards that left corner of the mat. And then you're going to take a nice big bend in that front knee. Good. So we're in a warrior one position through our hips, and then we're going to find eagle arms. So our right leg is forward. So think about bringing your right arm underneath your left one. And then we're going to cross the elbows. And if the hands being back to back, if this is as far as that you can go, you can be right here. If you feel like you can cross a little bit more and bring your hands or your palms together, that's the next level for you. If you're like, I can't do either, you can just grab the outsides of outsides of the shoulders and keep pulling your elbows forward. And that's going to be the modification there. But wherever you are, on your next inhale, see if you can bend deeper into that knee and then lift the hands as high as they will go. Finding that gentle arch through your upper back. And then as you exhale, good, bring the elbows back down, neutral spine. Good, inhale again, lifting the elbows, opening up your chest. And then exhale again, spine back to neutral. Good, 2 more just like that. Inhale, rise. Exhale again, back to neutral. And then 1 more time. Inhale, rise. And then exhale again to neutral. Good. Unwind the arms. Reach both arms up nice and high. And then exhale, cactus the elbows, lifting the heart up towards the sky. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, shift the weight forward so that you can bring your left foot forward to meet the right. Good. We're going to reset here and then move on to the other side. So left foot is forward this time, and you're going to take your right foot back behind you. Right toes are now facing the right front corner of the mat. It should take a nice big bend into the knees. The hips aren't going to be perfectly square, and that's okay. You're just actively pushing that right hip forward as you push that left hip back. Good. Same rules apply. This time left leg is forward, so left arm is going to go underneath the right one. Find the cross or hands back to back or grabbing shoulders as you pull the elbows forward. And then wherever you are, take a nice big inhale. See if you can lift through your chest. Keep that big bend through the knee. And then as you exhale, come back to neutral. Good. Inhale again. Reach the arms up. Keep pulling the elbows away from the rest of the body. Exhale again. Back to neutral. Good. We got 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Up, up, up. And then exhale again. Back to neutral. And then 1 final time. Inhale, big reach. And then exhale again as you release. Good. Release the arms this time. Reach the arms back up high. And then exhale, cactus the elbows. Lift your heart up towards the sky. Inhale again, big reach of the arms. Exhale, shift the top torso of the body towards the front of the room so that you can easily shift the weight and bring your right foot forward to meet the left as you relax your hands all the way down by your sides. Good. And from here, we're going to just open up, so that take our right foot and open it out towards the right side of the mat so that we can find a nice wide stance through our legs. Good. We're going to find a Trikonasana, so triangle pose, but the Vinny variation, so for yoga therapy. So instead of having your toes turned out like we do traditionally in Trikonasana, we're going to keep our toes pointed forward, so not pigeon-toed, just forward towards the front of the room. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms out nice and wide. And then as you exhale, bring that right hand down to that right shin or thigh as you reach that left arm high. You're not going to go down as far as you typically do in your Trikonasana, and that's okay. But then you're going to utilize small bend of the knees. Inhale, come back up. And then we'll do the opposite. Exhale, left hand to left thigh or shin as you reach the right arm high. Really good. Inhale again, bend the knees, come all the way back up. One more on each side. Right hand down, left arm up. Good, but this time inhale, reach. And then see if you can take that top arm, the left one, and take it overhead for a bigger stretch. Good. Swing that arm all the way back out to the side. Use that to help the torso come up. And then exhale, other side. Left hand down to the left shin. Reach the right arm up. Good. Inhale, find length in that arm, the right one. And then exhale, overhead. Good. Bend the knees, come all the way back up. Beautiful. And this time, heels out farther, and then a big forward fold. But this time you're going to take your hands to your lower back, lace the fingers, push the palms away from the rest of the body, or push the knuckles, and then lift the arms up overhead as you find that forward fold. If this bind does not work for you, know that it is just an option. You can bring your hands down to support your forward fold instead if that's what you need. But see if you can maintain this for 3 more breaths. 2 more. Beautiful. Last one. Beautiful. We'll take our time to slowly lift ourselves all the way up to stand. Good. And then inhale, reach the arms back out to the sides. And then exhale, step your right foot forward to meet the front of the mat with your feet together. Good. From here, we'll transition. We'll find a squat, so our Malasana. So if Malasana is not accessible to you, this is a great place to utilize the block. So you can find yourself in Malasana here. If you can do it traditionally without the block, this is a good place to be. But once you land, we're going to find a gentle twist. So you're going to bring your right arm down to the inside of that right leg to help that open up that hip. Take a nice big inhale, reach your left arm high. And then exhale, bring that hand down. And then take it the other way. Left arm goes across the front leg of the left side. Reach that right arm high, gentle twist. Good. Gently bring that hand back down. One more on each side. Right arm reaches down. Left arm reaches high. And then exhale again as you switch. Take that left arm, bring it into the inside, reach that right arm high. Beautiful. Take your time to slowly release as you bring both hands back down towards the ground. If you are able to, you can transition here from here to tabletop position. If you're like, I gotta make a couple maneuvers to get there, that's okay too. But rotate yourself back towards the front of the mat on all fours, and we'll find our child's pose on our knees, bringing our toes together, bringing our arms forward. We're going to do this a little bit differently to open up a little bit more through our shoulders. So rather than having our arms extended, we're going to take our hands to prayer and then take them to the small of our back as we pull the elbows forward. Sinking the heart down, relaxing the neck. Really good. One more breath here. We'll take your time to slowly release the hands back down towards the mat. And then slide them back towards you so that you can roll yourself back up onto all fours. Good. Once you make it onto your knees, you're just going to swing your legs around. Extend your legs out in front. Recline yourself all the way down onto the mat. And then we're going to find a banana pose today. So with ourselves extended, we're going to take our feet, walk them over towards the right corner of our mat, and then we'll cross our left ankle over the right one while our left hip stays on the ground at all times. So same thing with the upper body. We're going to reach both arms up overhead, and then we're going to shimmy the entire upper body, head, neck, and shoulders also over towards that right side. Right hand will grab left wrist. So imagine you're just using that right hand to gently peel that left hand over towards the right side of the room, finding a nice big opening happening through that entire left side body. Both shoulder points, both hip points stay on the ground. And do your best to relax your jaw. And allow yourself to ease into the stretch. Yeah, we'll take one more inhale and exhale here. And then we'll slowly release the arms, uncross the ankles, bring everything back to what might feel like the middle, and it might not be correct, and that's okay. But we're going to find our middle again by bringing our knees into our chest, giving ourselves one big hug, maybe turning ourselves into a tight little ball, so that when we extend our legs and our arms back out, we are back in that straight line. Now we're going to do the opposite. Both ankles walk over to the left side of the mat this time, and then the right ankle will cross over the left one. And then same thing with the upper body. Head, neck, and shoulders also shift over towards the left, this time with the left hand grabbing the right wrist. Gently guiding the arm and the legs over on that side, creating a nice big stretch in the right side body. Both shoulder points and both hip points still stay grounded. Nice big breaths for 4 more. And one more inhale and exhale here. And as you finish up that exhale, uncross the arms, uncross the ankles, bring everything back to the center line. And then one last big hug into the chest. And we'll slowly release the feet back down towards the mat. And as you make your way towards stillness, whatever that might look like for you today, whether that's just laying on your back or finding yourself in a fetal position or prone on your belly, know that healing takes time, but our bodies are resilient. It's able to do amazing things if we give it the time and the space that it needs to heal and start building mobility and strength. Yeah. So be kind to your body as you work your way through, knowing that change doesn't happen in a day, but through consistency, even if it's small ones. So thank yourself for showing up. As you unwind, take a pause, and just give yourself the time to allow yourself to be. So take one last moment in stillness, acknowledging all the sensations that have come and gone, knowing that the tension wasn't just created from nothing, that you carry a lot of weight. So as you give yourself grace, knowing all the burdens that you carry, and in turn how our body carries that stress, know that you did well by showing up so that you can take care of yourself in the ways that you need. As we take one last full breath in, filling ourselves up with everything that we need, followed by a big exhale as you let all the tension and everything else go. We'll gently wiggle through our fingers and through our toes before we find that full body stretch, if it calls to us today. Allow yourself to reach through in opposite directions. Before you take your time, bring your knees into your chest one final time, giving yourself that hug in before you roll yourself over to your favorite side. Once in your fetal position, set that intention for yourself, knowing that we can't be perfect, we can't be 100% all the time, and that when we need support, it's okay to ask, and it's okay to slow down. And as we set whatever intention that we might need for the rest of our day, take your time to slowly push yourself back up to your comfortable seat. Once you arrive, taking one hand over heart, one hand over belly, finding gratitude for our bodies in this practice. I hope you find a little bit more peace and a little bit more ease in your movements today. Thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to guide yours. From my heart to yours. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're able to find good comfort in your body today, and I hope to see you at the next one.